People, great Biafrans, wherever you are, on the face of this very planet, once again we welcome you to our live presentation on this very day, the 22nd day in the 7th month of the year that Elohim has made, 2020. The time now is precisely 5 minutes past the top of the hour. Regardless of where you are in the blessed land of Biafra, it is exactly 5 minutes past 7 p.m. in the evening. That is how you know you are live and you're direct. And we are bringing you this message of hope, a message of redemption, a message of freedom, a message of emancipation, a message of renewal. The message that will unshackle you from the primitivity and stupidity of the damnable zoological republic. And for those of you who are listening right across the continent of Africa, and as I say, every time zone on this very earth, I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night to some of you. We are the most widely listened to indigenous broadcasting station out of Africa. Banon. We have presence in over 100 countries and territories across the world. We are the largest mass movement of its kind anywhere on the face of this very planet. We have so much to be thankful for, and we have so much to be proud of. We did not accomplish it through any might nor power that we possess. Everything became possible because the Most High is in front of us, behind us, to the right and to the left. And he has given instructions to his angels to ensure that Biafra comes in our time, to guard and to shepherd this very movement towards its ultimate glory, which is the restoration of Biafra. My name is Nnamdi Kanu from Isiama Faruku in Ibeku in the old Bende division in the blessed land of Biafra. I tell you where I come from, and I give you my name in full. I am the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra all over this entire planet Earth. You can see it live. At the pinnacle of the centrality of our command and control system. The finest of its kind anywhere in the whole world. I am also the director of radio, Biafra and Biafra television, but above all, and most critically, by the very special grace of the Most High, Elohim, a servant of the wonderful people of Biafra. And as I welcome you this evening, morning, afternoon, or night, depending on where you're listening to us from, I will encourage you to welcome those who are around you. I know that Enugu is live as we speak. I know that a lot of people are now hearing us more than ever before. I also know we have accomplished nearly 70% coverage of Biafra land in terms of our FM dial. Most of you are listening via Radio Biafra app. Some of you have joined us via tuning, some on Simple Radio, some on Radio Garden. Some of you are listening via satellite. Some of you are listening via YouTube. But I know that a significant and a sizable number of you are on my Facebook page listening to this very broadcast this very evening. If you don't have your pen and paper with you, then you're missing quite a lot. Because when our prophecies come to pass, how would you know what we said and when we said it? If you don't have your pen and your paper ready, and of course, Alamajri, do not forget, as always, your slate and your chalk. Very, very important. I would even go as far as suggesting that this is even far more better than the nomadic education that they are subjected to, or should I say that some of them abandoned. After Jonathan left office, we must pray, we must hand over these very proceedings this evening to the Almighty Creator in heaven, the owner of IPOB, the creator of the land of Biafra. Biafra land was not created by the British. The zoo, Nigeria, was created by man, by Frederick Lugard and the girlfriend Flora Shaw, whereas Biafra land was created by the God Almighty in heaven.
And we have restored Biafra.
And we know that everything that is man-made has an expiry date. It must come to pass. But anything that God Almighty built will endure forever and ever. That is why Biafra will come without hesitation. And as I say, if we play our cards right, Biafra will be with us this very year. Just do as you're told and watch events unfold, that they may know that we were actually sent by the Most High. We must pray a very simple prayer, and one that I pray every blessed day. It is a prayer from the book of Psalms, a prayer of David, a prayer that David always prayed, that we shall pray this evening. The whole world is listening, but I must pray in the language of heaven. I must pray in Igbo language, the language of the ancients. I must pray in the language that finds presence in every other language on the face of this very planet Earth, even in the throne of heaven, where Chukwukikabiama is sat, as the angels are circulating around him and worshiping him and telling him that thou art holy. They are doing so in Igbo language. Therefore, I must pray in the language of the very oldest people to walk the face of this very planet Earth. Ezi onye nwanyị na Chineke na nke pụrụ m ihe niile, onye ịma mma ya na ebere ya na-adịgide ma ruo mgbe ebighị ebi, onye eluigwe n'ụwa na-agba akaebe ịhụnanya ya na ebere ya, mara ya na ọmịiko ebe ndị ya nọ, Chineke na nke usu niile nke ndị agha, onye ọ bụ naanị ya bụ mmalite na ọgwụgwụ, onye ndị Igbo na-etu ebighị ebi, ọbụla dị ka anyị na-akpọkọ aha nsọ gị na nke bere dị ngọzi n'uhuruchi ya n'ụtụtụ na ehihie, ọbụla dị etiti ime abalị, ebe ụmụ gị nọ n'ụwa niile wee na-ege okwu nsọ nke gị. Ndị okenye wee na-atụ mkpọ ọla edo n'ala, wee na-asị na ede nsọ Chineke, ebe kachasị ebe niile elu ebe obibi gị. Lekwa ọlụ aka gị, ọbịa bụ ka mbara igwe na-egosi, kpakpando wee na-agba aka ebe ịhụnanya gị na ebere gị, anyanwụ ụtụtụ wee na-ekuni, wee na-ekwu na Jehova nkusu niile nke ndị agha na ọ bụ naanị ya bụ eze. Ọnwa wee na-agba n'etiti abalị, na-asị na ndị nsọ ga-abịarịrị, na Biafra ga-enwerịrị onwe ya, na ndụ na-abụghị n'ọnwa eze bede ngọzi. Anyị wee na-eto gị wee na-aja gị mma, si ma leenu, ọ bụ naanị gị kere ihe niile kere eke, mana onweghị onye kere gị, onweghị ihe ọbụla eji ama atụ si na ọ bụ ya yiri gị. Onye ime eluigwe, onye ọ bụ naanị ya na-achị, onye ike niile nọ n'ọba dara aka ya, ụmụ gị na-akpọkụgụ n'ụwa niile, eze ebube dị ngọzi, n'ihi na IPOB bụ nke gị. Ọ bụghị mmadụ dị ndụ hiwere IPOB, onye ime eluigwe ọ bụ naanị gị, Chineke nna. Anyị wee na-asị gị, biko bịa ọsọ ọsọ, ezi onye nwe anyị, bịa ọsọ ọsọ ka iwe bịa nyere anyị aka. Lekwa ka ha ara Chineke nna nke igwe bụ ndị na-akpagbu anyị n'ụzọ dị iche iche. Bịakwa ka iwe tinye ndị dị etu a n'ụzọ ihe nakwa ọgba aghara. Ọkwa ekpere ka m na-ekpere gị mgbe niile, ekpere a ka m na-ekpere gị ụbọchị niile n'ime ndụ. N'oge ugbu a ka ọgba aghara na ihere dakwasịrị obodo ekwensu bụ zoo Nigeria. Ọ bụ ekpere a ka m na-ekpere gị mgbe niile, iwe na-asa m ekpere onye nwe m. Lekwa ka ha ara bụ ndị nwe mmasị n'ọdịda anyị, bụ ndị na-arịọ ka anyị wee daa, iwe na-ebuli anyị elu mgbe niile. Ndị dị etu a ka ị ga-achụghachi azụ n'ihere nke onwe ha. Ihere ga-abụ nke ndị dị etu a. Ma lekwa ka ha ara bụ ndị na-achị anyị ọchị, bụ ndị na-akpọ anyị aha ọjọọ niile nke dị iche iche, onye nwe m na Chineke nna. Oh, what more limit to Tarani? And you were not no believer can in a garozim. Number shows in one went to IPOB in a gun, Jemia, Abuking the mother dendo. Oh, yes, they live the way Yanikani was ended them. Neither travel not your when I want your honey in the teach on your one in a Chineke and Kigwe. Ndị dị etu a bụ ndị chụghachiri azụ n'ihere nke onwe ha ụwa niile wee ihere zu igwe gba ha na anwụ ihere ha wepụta ihe ma lekwa ụmụ gị niile gbanye onwe anyị na ụmụ gị bụ ndị IPOB n'ụwa niile abụrụ Biafra onye ime eluigwe ka anyị onwe anyị rabụ ndị nwe obi ịhụnanya bụ ndị nwe mmasị na obi ụtọ ebe okwu nsọ gị nọ anyị onwe anyị bụ ndị nwe ezi ịhụnanya ebe nzọpụta gị nọ nke mere mgbe niile anyị na-asị nna nke dị nsọ na anyị ga-ebuli gị elu Chineke nna nke igwe anyị ga-ebuli gị elu ọka ka anyị na-etu anyị ga-ebuli gị elu ma lee na ụmụ gị bụ ogbenye onweghị ihe ọbụla nke anyị nwere nna nke bred ngozi anyị ka ụmụaka wee na-asa sọsọ n'afọ onye nwe anyị were IPOB wee nyefee gị n'aka ụmụ gị bụ ndị Biafra ebere ha nọ n'ụwa niile nna nke igwe ka amara gị wee zuo oke n'ime ndụ ndị dị etu a n'ihi na ha bụ ụmụ Chineke mgbanwe kpagide anya iwe na-adọghị eze mkpede ngozi ka iwe nye anyị nwere onwe ka iwe bịa ọsọ ọsọ na ọ bụ naanị gị bụ Chineke nna nke usu niile nke ndị agha dị Lord of Hosts ọ bụ naanị gị bụ onye enyemaka bụ naanị gị bụ onye nzọpụta bụ naanị gị ka anyị na-akpọ isi ala nyere ha anaghị efe arụsị ọbịa mere okwu ọbụla si anyị n'ọnụ wee pụta bụ ihe na amen dịka isi wee kụziere anyị nna nke bere biko atụfula mgbe onye nwe anyị n'ihi na ndị iro abatawokwanụ ndị iro abatawo sabawe ma ọba onye nwe anyị bi n'igwe were otuto na nsọpụrụ na ịja mma niile na mbuli elu niile na ịkpụ isi ala niile dara ha nsọ gị site n'ebighị ebi ma ruo n'ebighị ebi ise For once I delved into the spirit, but we are back and we are live and we are direct. The entirety of humanity is bearing us witness as we proceed to preach this very gospel of heaven this very evening without fear nor favor. Here we preach the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth, that we may be vindicated in our own time. You must listen very attentively, please, I beg of you, because we are about to discover everything that is wrong with the zoo and the reason why we reason the way we do. Very sadly indeed. Very, very sad. I will start this evening by commending those Odua activists in the diaspora. Yoruba to some of you, but Odua to me. They came out a few days ago, or should I say yesterday to be precise, to demonstrate. And I love the way that Radio Biafra captured it. It says that the new generation of Odua today protested in London in front of the zoo embassy, Nigeria. They were demanding for the disintegration of the man-made contraption, that horrid experiment gone wrong by the British, that very place where corruption and looting is a badge of honor, where mediocrity, stupidity and idiocy reigns supreme. We are here to make history. Their coordinator said, I'm reading according to Radio Biafra publication, we have started history from today. And they said that Nigeria must fall. The same thing that we say, that the zoo must fall. I want to commend each and every participant that proudly declared their intention to fight for their freedom. I welcome them on behalf of this very noble family, IPOB, the whole world over. And I say to them that they are the people we are going to work with. I don't want anybody telling me that they are a Nigerian from the West, they are Yoruba, they want to move things forward. No, If you answer Odua and you're fighting for Odua independence, then you are one of us. The mistakes of the past will not again be repeated. Never, ever, ever. What transpired between Azikiwe and Awolowo is ancient history. For the benefit of this very generation and those unborn, even the atrocities of Awolowo, we are prepared for the time being to shelve. For our own common interest, which is freedom. But I charge you to remain very resolute. I will also encourage those of you in the Middle Belt. I will also encourage those Hausa youths especially. Because for Hausa people and their youths, they must decide between freedom and religious bondage under their conquerors, the Fulani Caliphate. The Hausa people must decide where they wish to belong. Do you want freedom to go back to recreate the very proud traditions of the Hausa civilization? Or do you want to remain a subject of the Fulani Caliphate? The Hausa people must decide. But I'm asking Middle Belt to emulate what our people in Odua are doing and declare their intentions to be a free people. What we are doing here, and hopefully across Odua land, which is Yoruba to some of you, is to bring the reign of impunity to an end. We are collapsing the mentality of it is our turn, it is the turn of my village, 2099 is our turn. While they keep looting and stealing and impoverishing everybody in the process. We are not going to fall for that nonsense anymore. We have now recognized that freedom is paramount. Freedom is the key that will unlock every potential that has hitherto been hidden or kept away from us. All those, I must say, with a hand in Operation Python dance, be they foreign, by which I mean the damnable Zoological Republic, or they are local, those that gathered in Nike Lake Resort to plan my assassination and the death of most of our people. Although you are in the minority, those of you who conspired with the Janjaweed to launch Operation Python Dance, insofar as what we are pursuing is concerned, those of you that met at Nike Lake Resort to sell our people down the drain will also get your comeuppance. Your own reward is coming. Your turn is coming, and you cannot escape it. All of you will go down one after the other. As long as you are a participant in Operation Python Dance, be you Fulani Janjaweed, be you somebody who claims he or she is an Igbo elder, all of you will bite the dust. I am not praying for anybody to die, far from it. I pray for life every blessed day. But the judgment of Chukwokika Biama is inevitable. The same thing I told the Fulani Janjaweed is today what I'm saying to our people. Everybody with a hand in Operation Python Dance will go down. None will be spared. None whatsoever. Everybody must understand one thing, that anytime I am on this very chair behind this microphone broadcasting on Radio Biafra, that I am under divine mandate. Divine. That is why everything I say must come to pass. Everything. Somebody said I shouldn't mention, I'm talking about those people who met at Nike Lake Resort. Not Umuokoko. I have no time for people without any fixed address. I have no time for them. And neither should you. I warned many years ago what is happening today. I warned repeatedly with clarity of purpose that the Janjaweed will come from the north and they will kill us. And it is happening. And I also told you that all of them with a hand in Operation Python Dance will go down. And they're going down one after the other. And they will all go, write it down. They will all go down. Do you know why they are going down, all of them? That they may know that God sent us to do this very work, not man. That anything that man is doing to try to frustrate this very movement will end up in failure. That is just a sign. That is why anything we say come to pass. It is a simple sign. That is how you know them. Because anything they say is going to happen, always must happen. That is how you know them, that I have sent them. So says the Lord of hosts. Listen very carefully. What I find very, very distressing about the damnable Zoological Republic, now we are trying to frame the very basic foundation upon which we are resting our argument and our postulations this very evening, morning, afternoon, or night, depending on where you are. The funniest part is that the funniest aspect of this whole thing is that those of them that created the monstrosity, that citadel of Lucifer called Nigeria. Because anytime somebody says, I want you to note this thing specifically. Anytime somebody says, I am a proud Nigerian, go and look at that person very carefully. There's something wrong with them. If not today, in time to come, you will discover it. The funniest aspect is that those of them, the British, that created the monstrosity, the Nigeria, and their local beneficiaries, the Janjaweed, the Caliphate, and the corrupt, now it is very clear, corrupt politicians everywhere, and even corrupt bureaucrats everywhere. They are the beneficiaries. That is why they want one Nigeria at all cost. Anytime somebody keeps saying, I want, look at them. Either their father, their mother, their uncle, their sister, their aunt is benefiting from the rampant corruption and thievery in the zoo. They come from a lineage of thieves. Only a criminal, only a certified, born natural criminal will ever support the damnable Zoological Republic. Only a criminal of irredeemable disposition will ever support the zoo. Now, they are determined more than ever to keep the abomination, that contraption, that British contraption. They are determined to keep it going. Why? Because you can steal money and nobody will ask you questions. You can kill as many people as possible and nobody will ever ask you any questions. You can form as many terrorist groups as you like in the north and nobody will hold you accountable. You can do anything you like. The presidential jet can wake up in the morning and fly gold to Switzerland, as they did a few days ago, and nobody will ask any questions. Your schools are not fit for purpose. Your hospitals are not equipped. You are dying. Your roads are virtually impassable, as is the case between Enugu and Onitsha, and nobody will care. That is why they want one zoo, one Nigeria. The same way that some people conspired in the olden days to keep slavery going, even when God and heaven and humanity rejected it, is what is happening today. Black people was against the end of slavery. Black West African people was against the whites that actually promulgated laws banning slavery. If you come to our land then, there were some men who benefited so much from slavery, they never wanted slavery to end. The same thing is happening today. If you ask your so-called average zoo intellectual, they will tell you that what is happening is wrong, that what is happening in Nigeria is bad and must be brought to an end. But if you ask them, what are you practically doing to bring this level of iniquitous existence to an end, they will tell you one more election will do it. That's what they always say to you. Oh, why don't you just one more? Only if you can get one good leader more. That is the silver bullet to solve all our problems. But I have just discovered very sadly that the greatest task on this earth is to get a black man to reason like a human being. The same way, it is a very delicate task to stop an Igbo man from tilting towards gossip. I didn't say Biafran, I said an Igbo man. To try to get a black man to reason properly is the greatest challenge facing African people and black people anywhere on the surface of this very earth. To try to get a black man to reason is not an easy process. It is one of the most difficult. In fact, do you know the funniest thing? Every other race on this earth, every other part of God's creation on this very earth have now attained a level, attained a level of consciousness and reasonableness that they can feed themselves, they can clothe themselves, they can manufacture at least 60% of the goods and services that they consume. But in Africa, we manufacture nothing and we consume everything. Do you know the reason why that is the case? Because an African man, a black person, is not yet able to reason properly. Critical reasoning, that's what I'm talking about. Not sentimental mumbo jumbo because a politician is from your village. Because of that, and if he loses money, it's okay by you. The same reason why some people from Enugu metropolis, some E-rats, I call them professional E-rats that they pay money to, that Ike Kuremadu pays money to. Ike Kuremadu has pocketed billions meant for Enugu Onisha Express Road. Understand this very clearly. Now, people that went to school or claim that they went to school, people who claim they are PhD holders, people who claim they are technocrats, people who claim they are intellectuals, people who claim elitism, people who claim they are professors in universities, they are supporting a man that took the money that was meant for a critical and vital infrastructure. He put the money in his pocket. He brought out what I could call not to the 100, then 1%, and shared to them 2,000 naira, 3,000 naira for credit. If you have difficulties, maybe paying your house rent, they'll give you 100,000 naira. Now you come on social media to defend what is in essence indefensible. But the money meant for the construction of this road is gone. Onisha Enugu Express Road is unpassable. The reason why I'm alluding to this is because these are the same people telling you about Igbo presidency in 2023. These are the same people that are going to occupy high office come 2023. Look at what they have done with the limited power and resources that we are given. They did nothing. Instead of improving our lives, they diminished it. And that is why they want you to believe in one zoo, one Nigeria. The problem is not only confined to Biafra land. Some of you have seen with the expose of NNDC what's been going on in the southern part of Biafra land. You have seen the mind-boggling, iniquitous looting of treasury. People without conscience. These are the people that will pay those that went to university to write garbage against IPOB, to write nonsense against the emergence of Biafra, to try to justify their criminal enterprise. Because Nigeria, the zoo itself, that some of you call Nigeria, Nigeria, it is, oh my God in heaven. I have never seen anything on earth to compare to the zoo. Some of you are still breathing because of the oil and gas coming from Biafra land. Take away the oil and gas, believe you me, you'll be feeding on each other. You will have cannibalism overnight. You start feeding on yourselves, I'm telling you. You'll understand the extent of the damage the British started, and those that you call your founding fathers, I call them the bumbling three, continued up until this very day. Something a white man built for his own advantage, Do you think a white man will leave Europe to come to Africa to build a country for you so you can have electricity and good roads and good schools and good hospitals? Is that what you think? Then you must be a fool. They can only do it in a place where they know they are going to occupy in perpetuity, as was the case in South Africa. That is why South Africa is the most developed country in the whole of Africa, because white people were there. They did not loot the national treasury. White people built South Africa from the proceeds from South Africa. No loans, no grants, no begging of money. Why can't you do it in the zoo called Nigeria? Because the very foundation of this monstrous, this British construct was flawed from the beginning. These are the things that they don't teach you. These are the truths they will never ever tell you. That there is something wrong with Nigeria. That there is lack of trust, that the people you call politicians, as you have all seen, all of them from top to bottom, they are all criminals. All of them are criminals. Now, every 4 years you recycle them. Every 4 years is our turn, the turn of my village, every 4 years. And I'm asking you, as a black nigger in the zoo called Nigeria, when are you going to learn? When will your brain be able to open so you can reason properly like a human being and not like an animal? That is what our preaching is all about this very evening. That in what we are trying to do is to teach the very basic of what you need to know as a human being, that you may be able to survive. Because we black people, there is something wrong with us. We do not reason. I don't care the court you take me to. I don't care where. If you like, we debate it on Friday morning. I will be live on air taking your calls on Friday morning. We can debate it. I am telling you, the most difficult task in the history of human creation is not going to the moon. It's not about discovering penicillin. It's not about automobile. It's not about the Wright brothers inventing aeroplane. No. The greatest problem in the history of humanity is to teach a black man to reason properly. And that's what we're going to do this very evening, as we have done in the past and going forward. You must understand this. The greatest task on this very earth is to get a black man to reason like a human being. The same way, it's just like trying to keep an Igbo man away from gossip. Hey, it's impossible now. Come on, for goodness sake. How can you keep an Igbo man away from gossip? Oh, no, please, give me a break. Anywhere there is gossip, you find them there. Gossip, the gossip is sweeter than honey to an Igbo man. Gossip. Unverified rumors and gossip is like honey to them. That is how hard it is. Trying to remove feeding bottle from the mouth of a baby saboteur is as hard as trying to get a black man to reason properly. But any day, believe you me, any day you begin to reason properly, you will now understand that the criminals you voted in 2015, the same people you recycled in 2019, yeah, the same idiots you're also going to recycle in 2023. The same thing keeps happening. No electricity, no good roads, no good schools. You keep lamenting. You come on social media and you lament. You talk from morning till night. You pray to God. You pay your tithe. You pay your offering. You do everything. Your daddy GOs will console you, and your life remains the same. What pains me most is that there are certain young people, because the height of radicalism and challenge to orthodoxy happens when you're a youth, between the ages of, say, 15 to when you're 28. But it's only in Africa that you have the youths who, instead of rising up to fight against injustice as other youths are doing all over the world, instead they join those who are oppressing them to oppress the people who are coming out to fight for them. That is a black man. Everything is upside down. Everything in life. They go to school, they read about French Revolution, they read about the revolution in England, Oliver Cromwell, they read about the Russian Revolution, they read about the US Revolution led by George Washington, they read about the Reformation, they know about Italian Enlightenment, they know everything. They know that Eritrea had to fight to leave Ethiopia. They know that East Timor had to fight to leave Indonesia. They know that Southern Sudan had to fight to leave Sudan. They know they have all the wealth of knowledge. But when it comes to application, simply apply that thing you have read. Let's say, for instance, you read chemistry. And you know that water is H2O, which is two molecules of oxygen and then hydrogen, or a molecule of hydrogen. If I'm wrong, please correct me. Water is H2O, hydrogen and oxygen. As a chemist, if you mix hydrogen and oxygen, you get water. But in Africa, you will see people dying of hunger, people dying of thirst, people who cannot drink water. But inside where they are, there is hydrogen, there is oxygen. They cannot mix it together. They are waiting for a white man to come and mix it together for them to give them to drink. That is not life. Now, I want you to understand the bedrock of racism all over the world. Racism thrives on the ignorance of a black man. People see black people and they say to them, why can't you be in your land and develop it? Why can't you build tall buildings in your land and live in it? Why can't you have running water? Why can't you have electricity? And you're in their own land enjoying it. That is why they beat us up. That is why they do things to us. I'm being honest with you. That is why because all the time we are begging with this whole Black Lives Matters nonsense. All we are hearing is that, oh, Google will increase their diversity from employing 20% black people to 40%. Oh, Coca-Cola is going to do the same. Why must we always beg? Why can't black people build something like Google? Why can't you build Coca-Cola? Why can't you build all these big multi-corporations? Why can't you do it? Are you not a human being? Don't you have the same brain that white people have? That is where black people should be reasoning. And if we dwell on this for only 2 months, believe you me, there will be a different outlook all across Africa. The way we reason is poor. And I want to understand, is it Lucifer, or is it the senior brother Satan, or is it the uncle, the devil? Who is it exactly that will go into an African youth, a young black person, male or female, and blind you? Instead of you to be fighting injustice, you're busy fighting those who are fighting injustice. There is something, I know that politicians are bad, they are corrupt, they are evil, but there is, when I see a young person, instead of fighting the just cause, they are busy supporting the oppressor. Sometimes I see them as the very habitation of everything that is wrong with black people. Some people say that, why do you always say this? You keep going back on this black issue. I said, because there is where lies the problem. The problem we have in Africa, the problem we have as black people in America, wherever we are, is because of the way we reason. The way we reason is flawed. It's not correct. And we must change it. We must change it. We must not be like those greedy people in the past that wanted slavery to continue. Those who were dealing in slavery or with slaves, so to speak, they know what their people are suffering and what, because freed slaves were returned to Sierra Leone. That's why they call it a free town. Most of them were returned to Africa, and those that came to Africa, they were learned. They know, they understand the humiliation they had to go through in the Americas. They came back, they were lucky enough and they came back, they sent them back to Africa. Despite telling those in Africa, this was what we went through. Those in Africa ignored it and continued selling people. That is the same way they're ignoring you today. You can cry, we don't have money to feed, we can't go to school, our street is waterlogged, there is flooding everywhere. They don't want to know. They will never know until you force them to know. And how do you do it? It's by what we are doing. Freedom. Let everybody be free. Let me see who is going to loot who and from where. Let us see who is going to loot from where. That is why I commend what Oduduwa is doing. That is why what we are doing is very, very critical. And as I move on this very evening, I am going to demonstrate to you in very clear terms why I know that black people cannot reason. Listen to me very carefully. People are doing what Lucifer created them to do, which is to make us stronger in preparation of what is to come. You must understand this. Any tribulation, any difficulty, any hardship we encounter is a preparatory step for us to go forward and encounter the real problem. And when we do, we smash through it. It is a tragedy. Somebody is a very big tragedy. It is a broken system in the zoo. In the zoo, corruption is walking on all four legs in broad daylight. And you know the funniest thing, the perpetrators are not even ashamed. It is now a badge. It is quite bizarre. It is only in the zoo in Nigeria that somebody will go and steal public funds. Somebody will steal and they will catch him stealing public funds. And others want to copy him to be like him. Only in the zoo. Only in the zoo. Only in the zoo. Now, even, remember Niger Delta is our oil. We want Niger Delta. Niger Delta Commission. Give us money. Give us budget. Appoint us. Put us there. Even now, they have seen the pollution. They are not fighting the pollution in Ogoniland, no. Do you know that is very serious pollution in Iguacha? Park your car in Iguacha, come back the next morning and look at the wind. Just wipe your hand on the windscreen. You see you see that your hand will turn to black from the residue from all the oil exploration and the flaring of our gas. People were dying in IPOB. Have you forgotten? But there are billions swimming around everywhere. The people that some of you are corruptly supporting, some of you young people, the idiots you're supporting, are the ones making your life a misery. But you still support them. What does that tell you about who you are? What did that tell you about who you are as a human being? That you are evil. It is your type of people, your family and your lineage that benefited from slavery, that even when people that fought William Wilberforce, people, they passed a law in England banning slavery, you were still selling your own people. Even when people came back from America to tell you that, see, this is what they're doing to us, life is horrible in America, you continue to sell your own people. Now tell me why the devil is not a black man. Tell me why Satan is not a black man. People without empathy. Nobody feels sympathy. You see, your own children are shopping in Dubai, traveling with private jet. Other people's children are hawking banana, selling oranges to survive. And you're happy. You are happy. You're a happy nigger. You're a happy black man. That shows how demented. That shows that Satan has built skyscraper inside you. Now you understand how evil you are. Now, when white people paint Satan as black, you understand why. Do you think they just woke up one morning and decided to draw Satan as a black man? It is because of your behavior, the way you reason, the way you do things, and your wickedness against one another. That same wickedness you're exhibiting towards IPOB and other freedom fighters, you can never exhibit the same level of wickedness to a white man that called you a nigger and refused to give you a job. Or maybe shot you, injured you during an arrest. That is the way that, you know, when I was studying the brain of black people, I'm not a surgeon, but I took time, many years. The same way I studied an Igbo man, I studied the brain of a black man. How black people reason. I spent decades studying black man, how they reason. I kept asking myself, why is it that things can work in Europe and in America and Asia and in South America, but not in Africa? Do you know the reason why? Not that the land doesn't have abundance of goodness to yield, no. It is because of the brain of a black man. How we reason, how we relate, the level of wickedness in a black soul. Somebody have seen that the zoo is crumbling. You have seen that Nigeria has nothing to offer. You know that. Not now, not tomorrow, not ever. And you are a PhD holder, you are a professor in a university. The reason why you want Nigeria to continue is because maybe Professor Dike made millions by rigging election in 2019. So it's my turn in 2023. Let me keep supporting one Nigeria until 2023 so I can also steal money as well for myself and my family. That is a typical black man. And that is why nothing works in the zoo. That is why the zoo should be dismantled. God did not create Nigeria. A human being like you and I did. And as humans, they are dead. Lugard created Nigeria, not God. Go to Google and Google it. Lugard created Nigeria, not God in heaven. I don't know how else you want me to explain it to you. I don't know how else. I don't know if I'm used to use it, as they say in those days when we're in primary school, when you don't pass your exams. Do you need me to use an axe to cut open your brain and put books in it so you can reason properly? You know, when you don't reason properly, that's why you are heartless. You are a wicked black fellow because you don't reason properly. If you reason properly, believe you me, you will hate injustice, as we do in Biafra, in IPOB. You must understand that very, very carefully. It is a tragedy, and the zoo is a broke. Those are nigger delta, nigger delta. They don't even know the meaning of the name nigger delta, nigger. You have seen it. You have seen it. The same idiots now that looted NDDC dry are the ones telling you, oh, Biafra is not good for you. You don't need freedom. You don't need Biafra. Let's work for one Nigeria. People don't reason beyond their noses. I'm asking you, when somebody is telling you about one Nigeria, go and look at the person. Look at his organ, his master behind him, or his family. That will tell you all you need to know about that idiot. That will tell you all you need to know. My concern is for a black man and woman to reason properly. That's all. Once you can get them to reason properly, the rest of the problems will become a lot more easier to solve. What is happening in NDDC is exactly the zoo, Nigeria. It is a microcosm of the zoo, Nigeria. When you create something without foundation, the outcome is always thievery, stealing, because there was no foundation. There was so much money. Oh, well, how do we stop the agitation? Let's give them money. And some fools collected the money and they kept quiet. Has there been any improvement? Has there been any improvement? We had our militants, our people in the Niger Delta. We agitated for freedom, and when the time came, they said, oh, take this money, oh, take this private jet. Oh, why don't I fly you to Asorok in a private jet? And after that, they took money. Have you solved the problem? No, the problems are still there. The problems of hunger, poverty, disease, deprivation, and early mortality. They are still there. So upon all the money you have collected from NDDC, from settlement money, from amnesty money, has it solved any problem? Oh, it may have solved yours, but you're still going to go through that same bad road. When you're still going to sink your borehole to still drink from the same contaminated water level below. The same nonsense. And one day criminals will come, or as the Fulanis are coming, the terrorists, they will come. They will abduct your daughter. And you go to newspapers and the TV, you'll be talking rubbish as always. You don't know you are the architect of all the problems that we're experiencing. You don't know. When you create something without foundation, that is always the outcome. The zoo had no foundation. A white man came and wanted a place where he can harvest all the cocoa, all the rubber, the palm oil and everything. They never came to create a nation. The white man never had in mind. White man came to nurture his business. Britain came to the zoo, Nigeria, because of cocoa, because of rubber, because of palm oil. They never came for your own good. But you, as a black man or woman that went to university, you went to Harvard, you went to Princeton, you can, those books are in the library, in all those places you went to, but you still cannot read them. Even when you do, you can't understand, because you're a black person. Your brain is not fine-tuned to reason properly. Nobody gives a damn how much you have stolen. They don't care, they don't give a damn. Now, somebody quite cleverly wrote, and they sent it to me. This is not original by me. Somebody wrote it and they sent it to me so that I can use it for tonight's program. They said, see the reason why we need Biafra and not these corrupt gangsters claiming to be Niger Delta or Nigeria, as a matter of fact. All they want to do is to strangulate you. Strangulate you. When they see you agitating as they did to me many times, they give you money. Oh, why don't you soften down? Why don't we work together and make Nigeria a better place? You know it's never going to work. Everybody knows that. They've been saying the same garbage from 1960 till now. Nothing has ever worked. Instead, it's getting worse. Now, They stole 81.5 billion naira. It was spent by the NDDC. All of you, you know the story, is the viral, is everywhere. But as always, it's another story. They have stolen money. Okay, now they'll go back and they give him a chieftaincy title, or they'll be hailing him in the village. When you're hailing somebody who have stolen your future, how do you think God will look at you? That is why you keep suffering now. That's okay. And later on, black people all over the world, we are paying the price of our ignorance. That is the essence of this program this evening. That all this our stupidity, we keep laughing and keep making comedy, making jokes, watching Big Brother, all this idiocy, it has filled our brain. We are paying for it. There is always a price tag. I read one James Hadley Chase book in those days. There's always a price tag. There's always a price tag to stupidity of a black man. You black people, you will continue to pay for your stupidity year after year. You pay, your children will pay, their children will pay, as our forefathers paid, and we're still paying till today. Nobody is ashamed of themselves to say, when can all this nonsense stop? But we have come, and it is going to stop with Biafra. They stole 81.5 billion. They spent 83 million on consultancy, which has no value. They spent 31.4 billion on COVID-19. I don't know if they are doctors. I don't know what they are doing. There's something called impressed, which is another word for bribery. 790.9 million. Their travel expenses, 486 million. And those supporting them will come and be asking Nnamdi Kanu, please, can you give us an account of a defense fund? They have not seen this. Defense fund they did not contribute to. But this is the funds coming from their own land, from their father's compound. They spent burial to wish people well or condolence, 122.9 million. There's something they call community relations, 1.3 billion. Overseas travel, 85.6 million. Overseas travel to go and do what? I don't know. Maybe to buy houses in Dubai. Maintenance of what? No, of their stomach. You know, the stomach is protruding, always large. 220 million naira to maintain their stomach, the size of it. Legal services, who is suing them, nobody knows, 900 million. Lassa fever, 1.956 billion. Security on what? Maybe to go and pay them for bodyguards, and because they're criminals, 744 million. Staffing related payments, 8.8 billion. Stakeholders engagement, which means to call village meeting to say we are NDDC, we are here, and God is good. They spent 248 million. And on the projects for which they have been set up, the projects for which they were set up to run, the essence of the NDDC, which is to develop, to build roads, schools, hospitals, how much they spend on those projects? Zero, none. These are the people that will come tomorrow and proudly pay one newspaper or one idiot to write. I'm a Nigerian. Please warn that your Kanu. We are Nigerians. We are here. The idiot writing that garbage will never remember that the person that created Nigeria was not his ancestor. No. He will never tell you that people that came and accidentally created the zoo came as exploitative businessmen that came to Africa to rape Africa. He won't tell you. He's an intellectual. He's intellectual. He's writing intellectually. He will, I don't know, bamboozle you with his degrees. From Princeton, from Harvard, from Cambridge, from Oxford, PhD. They call him doc. An absolute idiot. You're calling him doc, prof with an empty brain. Nothing in the brain whatsoever. A prof is defending something that a white girl named an unmarried white girl. An English tramp named you Nigeria, and you're a professor, and you're answering Nigeria. You're not ashamed of it. You have no shame. There is no shame before you. That is why they kill you in America. That is why they kill you in China. That is why they pursue you and they detain you in India. Because they have looked at a black man. A black man is a disgrace unto himself. Because of how you reason. Because of how you reason. Now, how do you think white people will feel when they're sitting in Europe, that they named Europa themselves, they named it Europe, not you? They are sitting in Britain, they named when Scotland joined England 320 years ago in the Act of the Union, they called themselves Britain, now United Kingdom. France is there, named by French people. Germany is there, which is Gaul, Saxony and Bavaria. They came together, they are Germany. But you, as a black man in Africa, these same people came, you claim you have dignity, you claim you have honor, you want respect as an elder. And I'm asking you, what other insolence is greater than somebody traveling for over 6,000 miles to come to your village to tell you now your name is no longer what it used to be. You are now Omaya. And you answer it. But before the white man came, there wasn't like Omaya before. How do you think they will respect you? I'm just asking black people. How do you think white people will respect you when everything you are, they made you the way you are? Your religion they gave you, the way you dress, everything about you is from them. You have not added any value to creation apart from the raw materials, which you don't have, it doesn't belong to you, it comes from the ground. You've added no value. All you know is to fight those who are fighting for your freedom. That is just a slight window into the darkened soul of a black nigger. That is an entry into the soul of a nigger. That's how you know them. Darkened soul. They have no honor and no integrity. No honor. If you say you're strong now, okay, go to Italy. No, go to Belgium. And stand on the streets of and rename Antwerp. Call it a new ACOM. That day they will inject you with something and your brain cells will go into reverse. They say you're sick in the brain. The same thing that a white man can't allow you to do, you not only allow the white man to do it in your own land, you are defending it with your life and you claim you're an intellectual. You're intellectualizing. That's how foolish you are. Foolish professors, foolish PhD holders, without brain, without any brain. Now listen, NDDC was set up to execute projects. How many projects did they execute? None, zero, zilch, zero, not. And tomorrow morning, another idiot from somewhere will be writing an epistle. Please fund NDDC. We need money for NDDC. Because he or she knows that a few chicken change is coming their way. That is your one Nigeria. Now, you want me that is learned to be a part of that garbage? Is that what, seriously, is that what you think? When I left UNN, I told my father that if I continue at University of Nigeria and Soka, I will go into reverse. I told my father, yes, I am intelligent. I can't be here. You better send me to England. He said no. I packed my bags and I went home. When he got tired, he sent me to England to go and study. I said, because I cannot be here. I can't be here. Seeing all this nonsense. Ordinary toilet, there is no water coming to flush the toilet at a premium university. I said, what type of rubbish is this? Why do we reason the way we reason? At government college, when the white man came, they built WC water system. Water was running. As soon as the whites left and the blacks started becoming the principal of my school, we started digging pit toilet. Today, cousin's house has gone. Cousin's house, where I was, no longer exists. It has crumbled completely. But there's money for education. There's education budget. Huh? But somebody's, and you want me to be in that type of country, yes? Thunderfire, all of you are criminals, all of you. All of you with your one nigger. God will punish all of you and your generations to come. I swear, God will punish all of you. Any idiot talking about one Nigeria, God will punish you and your family forever and ever. Mad people everywhere. Ndisyoji, mad, insane people. People with insane way of reasoning. Everything is upside down. Everything is upside down. Reason properly, you can't. You can't. But you know us now. Here, by force, you reason very well. Now, listen. You know, in Biafra, there will be no looting. Do you know why? You know, the reason why Europeans are doing well is because when they discover a problem, they devise a solution out of it. The reason why such nonsense cannot happen in Biafra land is because every budget in Biafra land will be publicly published. Every contract above $100,000 equivalent will be subject to notice in a newspaper. The panel awarding the contract will sit in the open. There can be no fiduciary issues, no conflict of interest. And anybody you pay bribe to, both you and the bribe giver and the bribe taker are all going to jail. It doesn't matter who your relatives are. This nonsense I am fighting for Biafra because the nonsense you're witnessing with NDDC and your EFCC and NMPC cannot obtain in Biafra. It is impossible. It's impossible. It's impossible. Form as many cabals as you like. That is why I have no friends and I have no enemies. As I am. Ask them within IPOB leadership. Leadership structure, that is. You know, some people say, oh, they have no structure. And I wonder what type of school they went to. How can you, a semi-illiterate, you want to challenge me? To debate with me. You are not well read and you want to debate. People say, oh, but they have no structure. We'll get to that later. And they claim they went to school. And in the meantime, I want you to Google the word structure, organizational structure. They will tell you. I'll come to that in a minute. As the looting is going on, the very fantastic looting everywhere. Loot as much as you like. Loot on everybody. How about Magu? Here he is now naming those that looted money, those that benefited and looted cash from their so-called EFCC. As I told you, I warned Magu. I said to them, all of them, release Olisametu. They thought I was joking. Release Olisametu. They said no. I said, if you don't release him, Magu, you will be in trouble. Is Magu not in trouble today? And I said, the more you keep Olisametu, the more things will be unraveling. Because where IPOB is, none of you can get there. None of you can. I want them, release Olisametu. They said, no, we can't. They say, Nnamdi Kanu, talking. He's just talking on radio. Today, where is Magu today? And all his accomplices. Are they not going down, all of them going down? I said, all of them. All of them. All of them are going down. And you're playing with us. It doesn't. Your envy can't cut it. If you like, be as envious as a bat also. It doesn't get you anywhere. It doesn't mean anything to us. We come here, we preach, and what we say come to pass. And as I said to the zoo, the more you keep Olisametu, the more all of you are you all be disgraced and all of you are going down. All of you are. Keep him now. You will see what will happen. Keep Olisametu. And who is fighting for Olisametu? Am I a politician? The answer is no. Look at all those who are politicians with Olisametu. Those he claimed were his friends. Are they speaking up against his unjust incarceration? No. It's IPOB who is fighting for him. Our people don't. Some people don't. That is why. And you see, envy and jealousy is very, very destructive. That's the thing about a black man. A white man came, destroyed you, your way of life, turned you upside down. You never questioned. He said, take from now onwards, that's your name, Chinyan, is no longer good. When you come to baptism, you must answer Isabella. You said yes. That's a black man for you. Or black woman, as the case may be. That is where you see how we reason. And now, that white man has gone back to Portugal, gone back to Rome, gone back to Ireland, gone back to... You think they'll respect you? Now, I want anybody to go to Ireland, anybody to go to Scotland, I want you to go to Germany or to France. Say to them, oh, before you can come to God, change your name. From Pierre to maybe Onyebuchi. You see what they will do to you. In every aspect of life, we have shown the world that we are inferior, that we cannot reason. You can't come to my house and tell me, unless I answer your name, God will not see me or visit me. I will tell you that you're mad. I will tell you you're insane. But we swallow everything, hook, line, and sinker. We never reason, we don't interrogate. And that's why we are here. To make you to reason. To make you to reason. They are naming those of them that went and took money. As I told Magu, you will be in trouble. We are IPOB, I'm Nnamdi Kanu. I told you will be in trouble. I warned you. Release all this. You said no. You are doing gra. We are EFCC. We are Janjaweed. I told you will be in trouble. You said no. Have you seen it today? That's the power of Psalm 70. Everything I do, I anchor it on God. Psalm 70. Go and read it very well, you will see. That's my prayer. I pray it every blessed day. I have been praying it for 4 years. I said every day. I pray it every blessed day, without fail, without fail. If I'm flying, if I'm in an aeroplane, in a ship, anywhere I am, I pray it. And Psalm 119, every blessed day I pray it. God did it again. I asked Elohim, you see, our enemies of Biafra and enemies of IPOB, just go and drop confusion inside them. And again, I said, disgrace them. I don't want to in-house disgrace them that the world may see. Is that not happening today? Magu and his people? A young black man, a graduate without a job. That is what, when I think about it, I know that black people really were insane. God in heaven knows, we have a very serious problem. You are a black man or black woman, you are a graduate, you read architecture, but now you're out, you're selling Roman lime, and you're selling granite. And you managed to raise some money to buy Infinix phone, the very cheap one. You put data in it, and you're defending the person that made it impossible for you to get a job, a politician. And you want me to regard you as a human being. God forbid, I cannot. You're not a human being. You are not. You are a zoo animal. And when I call you zoo animal, you start getting upset. Let us go to Magu. I warned him. He said, no, who are you? We are the cabal. He's now giving you the names. Now listen, it's not our news. I'm giving you news from the zoo. Now listen, the suspended acting chairman of EFCC, Ibrahim, he's a Fulani Janjaweed. Ibrahim, can you imagine if it was an Igbo man, a Biafra man, a Fik, Ibibio man, head of EFCC? By now, they will bring the person out in Abuja, they will cut you into pieces in broad daylight. And they will say, hey, we are now fighting corruption. Kudos to all of you. But because his name is Ibrahim Magu, nothing will happen to him. The same thing, have you forgotten Ibrahim Lamode? That one stole $5 billion. $5 billion he stole and ran away from EFCC. The same Fulani, they are the ones fighting corruption. You people are daft. When I look at an average zoo person, Nigerian, when I look at you, I just, and I'm being very honest with you, God in heaven knows. Once you say you're a Nigerian, I don't see you as a human being. I'm being honest with you. Once you open your mouth and say, I am a Nigerian, I don't regard you as a human being. You are beneath contempt. Now listen. Malami alleged that Magu sold some of the recovered assets to his associates. This is the man fighting corruption in Nigeria. He is fighting corruption in the nigger area that Britain created. That is why, sometimes, whites, they are very funny. They are just watching us, a bunch of monkeys and a few baboons, jumping up and down, looting, eating banana, eating plantain here and there. Not our plantain, no, another person's plantain. We just grab it and we eat. Then, seriously speaking, I believe that Britain and the rest of the civilized world, there is something, sadistic about their enjoyment of what is playing out in the zoo. I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you. Somebody you call to fight corruption that put Olisametu in jail. Olisametu was given 400 million naira to run a PDP campaign. He didn't steal any money. He's in jail. Why is Olisametu in jail? Because he criticized the dead Buhari when he was alive in 2015. That's all. They put him in jail. And they used a Biafran man, Aban, to put him in jail. You see how we are. You see how intellectual we are. Oh, we are only intellectual at fighting our own people. That's at the height of our intellectuality. We never fight Fulani. No, of course not. It's only our people that we fight. Look at Aban. He's a learned judge. He's jailing his brother that did not commit any crime. That is your typical Easterner. Very, very vile and evil. Vile and evil. Now listen, he's the head of economic financial recovery and the czar of anti-corruption czar. Where did all these things go to? Do you know what Magu said? On allocation of vehicles to some government agencies through special auction with presidential approval. In other words, your so-called, whoever is wearing the mask now is in on it. Or Jubril, because Buhari died January 2017. If you like, believe. If you like, don't believe. That is your cup of tea. You are a baboon. You are a zoo. You are a black nigger. You know nothing. Your brains are empty. You can't reason. I'll prove it to you later on that Buhari is dead. Every time I come on air, I will keep proving it to all of you. Because some of you are daft beyond recognition. Now, listen very carefully. Magu, what happened to the cars you seized as EFCC chairman? What did you do to it? I sold some of the cars because sometimes all this grammar, it confuses our mothers in the village. That's why our program is different. I don't believe in all this useless top grammar that has no meaning. No. They asked Magu, where are all the vehicles, all the cars and the lorries you collected? Where is it? He said, I sold some of it with the approval of the presidency. I asked them and they said I can sell them. And I sold those cars to people working in the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Disaster Management. And the value is to be debited from their allocation. In other words, rather than the state or the budget office giving money to that woman at Humanitarian Affairs, they now give it to EFCC. The cars they bought. They are buying cars, sharing to their children and having fun. And they are not even, although they are getting it at the very cheap, or should I say cheapest in this case, still, it is the government, the taxpayer who is paying for it. And they are sharing it to their children in a circle, in Wuse, in Maitama. They are driving around and they are having fun. Oh, now the Kanu should stop this nonsense. We want one Nigeria. Zoological Republic. God. I don't know why God put us in this mess, honestly speaking. Honestly speaking, I don't know why Elohim put us in this mess. I came to this world in a midst of people who were born stupid. Naturally stupid. And they have refused to reason. Naturally stupid. They have refused to reason. That's what I hate about our people. We also gave some of the cars to the State House, which is Asorok. We also gave some of the cars to the National Commission for Refugees and Displaced Persons. We gave some cars also to Inland Revenue and National Directorate of Employment. And who are the people in charge of all these agencies? All Janjaweed, all Fulani.